Welcome back to Smok'n Garage. Today we are going to talk about the SandShark. This is the SandShark XL. This is going to open up, expand. Got a couple of different spots here. Makes this just about 5 feet tall. We are a lot windier than I wanted to be. Hopefully you don't get a whole lot of wind noise. If you do, I apologize. I've got my Dansford anchor out front. I am going to screw this into the sand. I'm on a sand bottom right now, and I'm sliding here just a little bit. I'm going to put this in, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more, okay? Now, I'm going to pull this out after a while, and I'm going to show you. All I'm doing is just screwing this in. I'm actually screwing it in. Obviously, like I said, a sand bottom. And it's screwing in pretty easy. This handle slides. As you can see, we drifted pretty far away already. Current is pulling us pretty hard. This is a bungee rope, you can see. So we're going to use that. We're going to pull the bolt back here a little bit. I'm going to show you how well this holds. All right, you're gonna see this is gonna pull taut. Now obviously we got our anchor out in front that's holding. And typically when you're sitting up at a sandbar or something, you're not in quite this much wind. But this really helps to hold you. Typically I don't need to pull it at an angle like this. I can just go straight back. And it keeps you from moving back and forth a lot better than what an anchor does. When you do have other people coming by and you've got like some wake or something, this bungee is going to allow you to move and then come back, and that's really helpful. So like I said, this is the XL. This is their biggest, their best, and their strongest. This is made out of aluminum and galvanized aluminum and stainless steel. So if you are in a saltwater environment, you don't have to worry about that. It is, it's not going to rust or anything. It comes in this nice bag. I don't know if I showed you, the bottom screw was metal or stainless or whatever. It's not plastic. So it comes in this nice SandShark case, and they do give you a nice rubber pad in there that sits in, so you don't have to worry about this getting scratches on your boat or anything like that. It's in this case. It's taken care of. It is nice. The other SandShark that I have is this. This is what they call the sport one. This is their, I don't want to say this is their lowest one. This is their most budget friendly. Now this one just pops apart. This one is a composite plastic. These are just going to clip together. I'm not going to put them all together because I'm not going to set this one up to show you. Because, I'll tell you what, they're very hard to get apart. I'm going to show you when I pull that one apart. When you pull these apart, the reason I stopped using this one is because, first of all, it's not rated for a boat as big as mine. I'm holding a 24-foot boat with this. I used this on my 23-foot boat, and I had good luck with it. It held. But when you try to get these apart, you get even just a little bit of sand in there, and they really didn't want to come apart. So if you are using this one, I would recommend, don't plan on it coming back apart and folding up here, not folding up, but clipping back into place here nicely. Plan on it being all three of these sectioned and leaving it like that, because you just can't get them back apart, or at least I couldn't. I've had to take them back home. You can see here is even just a little bit of sand that's in there. It takes like 3 or 4 grains of sand, and you can't push those buttons back in anymore. I had to tap it with a screwdriver, and then I had to actually pry them apart to get it back like this to bring it back out to show you. Substantially cheaper, obviously cheaper build, and it does hold. But plan on, if you are going to get one like this, it's probably not going to come back apart and fold up nice. It's going to stay the full length, which is approximately 3.5 or 4 feet. The other one we have now is like the 5 foot. They do have some in between those sizes. You check out their website. I don't work for them. I am not sponsored by them. I'm just doing this to show you guys. They also have a anchor, actual anchor that is called a shark.
Jaws.
And we will, I was actually going to show you that in a different video, but I'll actually show it to you in this video, because what I use that for, that one is primarily for, I left the bag. It comes in a really nice bag, and that's one of the things I like about it the most. It comes in this nice bag and it folds up. It is primarily made for personal watercraft, maybe a canoe or something. They said up to, they said a small boat. I actually reached out to them and I asked them what their definition of a small boat was, whether it be size or weight or whatever. And at the time of filming this, they have not gotten back to me yet, but I am pretty confident that a 24-foot boat that's 45, 46 pounds is not what they are calling a small boat. So we're putting that one to the test by all means. But while I'm in windy conditions like this, you know, while the time it takes me to set up my SandShark, I like having that other anchor, and I can just drop that down, and it didn't hold me exactly in place, but it kept my boat. If I just let this go, it's going to take off pretty far, especially if I've got people on the boat while I'm cranking this down. I'm going to lose them. So I really like that folds up, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to show you. This also comes with a rope, and it does have a bungee on part of it. And this is, it didn't set in the sand quite as well as I had hoped it would, but this is what they call the jaw. And this folds up, it's weighted, it's got some weights in there, it's about 4 pounds. Let me get some of the sand out of there. I can feel it a little bit gritty, there's some sand in there yet. So this folds up and it fits in the little case that it comes with. And I really like that, especially because a big anchor, sometimes you bang it around. I like that this folds up, I like that it goes in that bag. And it held up pretty good, I'll say. Again, it's windy conditions. We are using this for substantially more than what it was designed for. I think if you had a jet ski, I think this thing would be awesome. I think it would hold very well. In the amount of time that I had, it dug into the sand, but it didn't dig in enough to hold a 4,500 pound boat. But it held it long enough that I didn't have to run after my boat. I just had to pull it back a couple feet. So this is something that you may want to check out too. The other thing that I use this for, when I am somewhere where I've got a pretty strong current, but I'm not near land, I'm just out in the water somewhere and the kids are playing. I've got my anchor in the front, obviously, and then you got some current that's pushing your back end. You're pushing your stern back and forth, and then the kids are behind, you know, they're sitting over here swimming, and then all of a sudden the boat's way off over there. I drop this down on one side, and then that helps the transom to stay in place a lot better. And it works pretty good for that as well. Like I said, it's weighted, it's only about 4 pounds, it's 6 in the sand. If you are in rocks, I don't know how well this will work, but in sand it works pretty good, especially if you have something much more like what it is designed for. So come back over here and I'm gonna get ready to pull this out. I'm gonna set this back so I don't lose my boat, and then I'll be right back to pull this out and we'll show you a little more on that one. All right, so I'm standing right where I just pulled this out, and you can see that that jaw anchor is holding us pretty good. Remember, this rope is on a bungee, so it's gonna move back and forth a little bit. So you can see here we got a nice auger. That's gonna help you really get into that sand. Now this is where I didn't like the other one. This button here, just pulled it out of the sand. I can still push it. I'm sure that I've got some sand in here. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this out nice. Now the downside to this one, water's dirty here, I don't want to lose it, but this does not float. That plastic one does float, so while you're shaking this up, that plastic one will float while you're trying to get the sand out of it. This one will not, so just keep that in mind. Oh, a little bit of water in there. All right, I think I got all the water drained out of that, and that's just gonna slide back together. There we go. And it locks into place. The again, that other anchor that is not meant for this type of a boat is actually holding us pretty good. And I told you about the bag that it comes in. It even says SandShark right on it, sandsharkanchors.com. It's a pretty nice bag. It fits your rope, fits the anchor in there. And then this one slides right back into here. I really like that this one zips up in there, pretty nice, very convenient. It's even got a handle on it. It's got their logo. Very nice. If you think that that would be helpful to you, definitely check those out. I bought these from my local Yamaha dealer. They stock them. They might be a little bit hard to get right now because with COVID, everything is hard to get, right? But definitely check those out. They do come with, like I said, a rope. You just hook on. I hook mine on right over here. I got both of them on here. Typically, I've only got one on. And I am pretty impressed with that Jaws because that is holding my boat. Like I said, it's not meant to hold this boat, but it's doing a very good job of it. If you have any questions in the comments, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you're watching this channel for the first time and you haven't already and you want to, boom, please subscribe.